that's why we're here in front of the City Hall, is because the owners of the nightclub never got any permits. They didn't get anything from City Hall. Why not? Why did they do illegal renovations? They weren't even supposed to operate as a nightclub. They were supposed to be a restaurant. So why did they get away with it year after year after year? Well, we've been told that the former co-owner, Ron Legler, is best friends with who other than Buddy Dyer, the mayor of Orlando. That's why they got away with breaking the law, and they made an unsafe venue so anybody could just walk right in the front door, sit for 17 and a half minutes, know that there was no security, even though they were told they had security problems, then go right back to his rental van and walk right in, open carry, with an assault rifle. And the rest is history. I don't know what to do. I'm angry. I'm sad. My son and his boyfriend were slaughtered, along with 47 other people, and 53 people have severe gunshot wounds. They need a lifetime. Most of them were very young when they got shot. They had catastrophic injuries. They're going to need a lifetime of care. I mean, the rest of their lives. Who said they were going to care for the families of those who were killed and for the catastrophic gunshot survivors? Who said they were going to care for them? It was Onepulse. And that's the second reason why we're here. It's because for 7 years, Onepulse built their brand. We're a brand. We're a brand. We're Onepulse brand. To get Disney and JetBlue and Virgin and Gucci to give them lots and lots of money. For what? For them. To increase their personal wealth. To give them celebrity. To give them power and fame. Did they help us? No! The brand that they built on August 1st, Barbara Poma told NBC Latino, I'm going to start a foundation to financially help the families of the 49 people who were killed and to help the 53 survivors. That's who she built her brand on. She never fulfilled that promise in any way, shape, or form. And you can see what happens when you have people who are not related to the victims. They didn't get injured. They didn't lose any loved ones. They're running the foundation with no skin in the game. And you can see what happens. They run it right into the ground. And here we are. They forced Barbara Poma out. They make up some kind of fake investor to the bar so they don't have to give the bar to the victims, so that they don't have to give the bar to the Onepulse Foundation, so they can build a proper memorial. You got to ask the tough questions. Ask the Onepulse Foundation, what have you been doing for 7 years? What have you been doing? There's no memorial. There's nothing. We just got used over and over again. And that's the second reason I'm here, is because we are the owners of Pulse. We are the Pulse tragedy. The 49 families and the 53 serious gunshot survivors, we should own Onepulse and control it. Because we could do the same thing they've been doing, but we would take care of each other. We would make sure there was a proper memorial, and we would take care of those who need continual care for the rest of their lives. And I'm Christine Leinanen. Just say hello to, if you have a mother, wish them a happy Mother's Day for me. And I'm sorry I took you out today. Thank you. Next.
Yareli. Buenas tardes. I'm gonna say it in Spanish, okay? Because I'm representing the Spanish-speaking mother of Pauls. Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Jolie Sintron. Estoy aquí como portavoz en representación de las madres y familiares de las víctimas y sobrevivientes de la discoteca o club Pomas. No estoy en mi ámbito personal. Estos son las señoras, estoy representando, perdón, a la señora Carmen Capó, Luis Ocasio, la señora Belinet Ocasio Capó, estos padres y hermanas de Luis Omar Ocasio Capó, una de las víctimas de Pauls. También estoy representando a la señora María Magdalena Soto Roldán, mamá de Luis Daniel Conde. Angelita Velázquez, mamá de Juan Pablo Rivera Velázquez. Y Jessica Velázquez, que es la hermana de Luis Conde. También estoy representando a la señora Olga Isla, que está aquí conmigo. La mamá de Anthony Luis Laureano Disla. Todos estos son madres, padres, hermanos y familiares de 4 de las víctimas fallecidos en el Club Post, como dije antes. También me han dado la tarea de ser portavoz de Tony Marrero, y Juan José Cofiño, el cual Juan José vive en Colombia, no puede estar aquí. Ambos sobrevivientes heridos de múltiples heridas de bala en la discoteca Post, también con más de 100 cirugías entre uno y otro. Ahora, estas son las cosas que por qué nosotros estamos en esta conferencia de prensa. Estos son los puntos, los voy a nombrar de 1, 2 y 3. Exigir una investigación que conduzca a la verdad sobre la señora Bárbara Poma, sus miembros o socios. Estos, dados a los acontecimientos que ya ustedes saben, la prensa, que ha pasado en estas últimas semanas. Acerca de los donativos, los fondos de la Fundación Onepulse y el memorial. Número 2. También exigir la investigación del por qué toda donación, fondos se ha ido en salarios para los miembros de esta fundación. Y para la propia señora Bárbara Poma, que si ustedes no lo sabían, en 5 años fueron casi $500,000. Desde el principio, cuando la señora Bárbara Poma, en el 2016, cuando pasó lo de la masacre de Post, Bárbara, en muchos medios noticiosos, hizo unas expresiones que era que la fundación se estaba haciendo para la ayuda de las víctimas y los sobrevivientes de Post, lo cual esto no pasó. No ha pasado en 7 años. Ni un solo dólar. Ni un solo dólar. Ella, como dije antes, lo dijo en muchos medios en repetidas ocasiones. También, como le estaba diciendo, muchos de estos sobrevivientes todavía tienen operaciones que todavía no han podido tenerlas. Por lo menos Juan José lleva 48 operaciones. Número 3. exigirle a la ciudad de Orlando y las respectivas agencias una investigación del por qué no ha habido multas y, si fuera necesario, llevarlo a la justicia y procesarlo judicialmente a todas las violaciones y códigos y permisos de la construcción que contribuyó en parte en pérdida de vida de nuestros seres queridos en Pols. Así podamos tener justicia para ellos. Como tal, estas familias y sobrevivientes de los 49 y 53, gravemente heridos con heridas de bala, como dije ahorita, sean los administradores legítimos de sus historias, no Bárbara Poma. Exigimos justicia para todas estas víctimas y para los sobrevivientes. Exigimos que toda comunicación, también exigimos, por data, ¿verdad? Exigimos que toda comunicación de parte de las autoridades y Onepulse Foundation, etcétera, sea traducido en español. Pues siempre ha habido una barrera por el idioma cuando el 80% de las madres son hispanas. Muchas gracias y feliz Día de la Madre.
Buenas tardes, discúlpeme que creo que no voy a poder hablar mucho porque no me siento muy bien. Yo soy Araceli Jiménez, vengo de República Dominicana, madre de Geraldo Ortiz, que perdió la vida en esa discoteca ese día. Realmente, yo lo que quiero es que se haga justicia porque he visto que no se ha hecho nada. Lo que he pensado siempre es que hay una complicidad entre la ciudad y la señora Bárbara Poma. Y he dicho desde el principio que lo que han querido es que pase el tiempo para que no se haga justicia con nuestros hijos. Y otra cosa, que se supone que es un memorial que se debe hacer en el sitio donde murieron esos muchachos, quieren ahora hacerlo en otro sitio, porque no quieren ahora hacerlo en el sitio que realmente deben hacerlo, que es en la discoteca, porque se supone que es un memorial. Debe hacerse donde las personas murieron y no en otro lugar. Y que también esos recursos que ella en esa fundación que se supone que era para esas pobres personas que están heridas, le llegaran esos recursos de esa fundación, tampoco se han usado para dicho causa que se dice que se iban a usar. Realmente ha sido un abuso, encima de que hemos perdido a nuestros familiares, yo como perdí a mi hijo en ese lugar. Encima de eso se han burlado de nosotros. Ha sido algo terrible, porque no hubo quien nos representara. Hubo una complicidad entre la sociedad, entre la ciudad y Poma, porque son amigos y no han hecho nada por nosotros. Y nosotros queremos justicia por nuestros hijos. Y gracias, porque realmente no me siento bien.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tira Parker. Y'all may know me as Akira Monet Murray's cousin. We were in the club that night of June 12, 2016. I'm here to speak today. I'm in a much different place than I was ever before. I have to say that it's been a journey, and we're quickly rolling on to 7 years from now. And it's been a process, and learning the things that I learned about what they're doing or was trying to do with the club and the type of profit that they were trying to make off of victims. I'm just going to let you know I'm speaking from a different perspective. I am no longer no one's cash cow. You're not going to continue to make money off of us, nor those that have been killed. And I think the biggest issue here is that that's the part that's not being talked about enough, is how much victims turn into, this tragedy turned into a profit. I became someone's meal ticket, and I'm not receiving any part of that meal. And that's the problem. That is the issue that we're running into today. And I think that is the part that needs to be addressed and needs to be seen. I really wish that a lot more survivors were here with me today so you can see where a lot of them are today and what they've been going through. Because once the media leaves here, life still goes on. I still got bills to pay. I still have to travel. I still have to work. I still have things to do. And they tend to forget these things when, you know, they're so busy trying to build museums and they're forgetting to do certain steps to make sure everyone is safe. When I learned that a part of the reason why a lot of people were killed the night of the shooting was because of the way the building was built and a lack of permits. So you're telling me you could have prevented over 100 people getting hurt or killed because of some simple permits, papers to sign? It's beyond me. I've seen a new memorial. I've been to the entire, I've been to the club, I've been back here, I've spoke many other places. But every time I come here, it becomes cringing. Because I have to always address and understand that one, Pulse is a part of me, and two, that I am somebody's meal ticket and they can care less about me. I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to the club asking for assistance or help, and they directed me to places that they knew did not have any funds available for victims of any crime. And that was the part that will always completely change my perspective on what they did. I find it very ironic that she stepped down now and someone else steps up. You don't have to avoid it anymore. And she very well knows I do not like her that much, and I told her. And I said this because I realized, and that was my personal experience. We met the president, Barack Obama, at the time. And everyone else, this was a time for embrace. It was time to love one another. And that woman just walked up to me and said, "Hi, I'm so sorry for your loss," and walked away from me. Now, y'all tell me if there was any compassion in that. No compassion, no type of care in the world. She could have cared less about what was happening. The only thing she cared about at that moment was her club no longer being functional. And that was it. And that's the problem. I understand that that club was supposed to be a safe haven for the community, but I hope the community know now that we have to take a different approach and take that power back of our life. We deserve our own autonomy to completely change everything that we're doing. All I ask is that there is more done, and stop playing around with it. Stop beating around the bush. I'm tired of finding out that somebody was able to make simple calls to be able to get in contact with somebody just to make some things go away. Well, I'm not going to go away. So, and that's the fact, and that's the truth. I lost my cousin that night. I didn't find out that she died in my arms until a week later after I got home. I went through hell. I was blamed for her death, because my family did not know how to grieve or where to go or which way to turn. And the reality it is that people probably were going through far worse than I've ever experienced in my life. But to sit here and see that there was no concern, nobody checked up on us, we are not a celebration. What's going on over across the street is a celebration. This is not a celebration. This is not a party. I've been to the events that they've had here, and they were so they wasn't even thought out properly. It don't even look like it was worth being there. But you're going to continue to make money off of me and not even think about where we've been and what we're going through? Your bills are paid. You still have a car and a roof over your head. There are some people that lost everything. But your only concern is about keeping money in your pocket. We are people. I am not an object. And I'm not here to play any games. I demand that criminal investigation as soon as possible. It should have happened yesterday.
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you want? Yeah. Oh, you want to go? Okay. Should be on. Yeah.
Test.
Good afternoon. I'm speaking today on behalf of Tony Marrero, who was one of the individuals that was wounded at Pulse. My name is Nancy Rosado, and I have been a supporter and a help to the moms who do not speak English, and a supporter of people who were injured at Pulse. I'm now reading Tony's statement, which he is not here, not able to give to you. My name is Tony Marrero, survivor of the Pulse nightclub shooting that took the lives of 49 innocent victims, where I also lost my best friend who was with me that unforgettable night. For many years, I've kept quiet because speaking up about the injustices and irreparable damage this unnecessary and horrible One Pulse Foundation destroyed my mental health. I was called greedy, fake, problematic, and even a crisis actor by individuals who idolize and defend the Pomas and this foundation. For years, the foundation has lied to the public. In earlier statements of 2016, the founder of One Pulse assured this foundation would be put in place to help the shooting survivors, victims, and their families. That statement was later changed in order to focus on greed. The foundation was turned into a tourist attraction where they would collect insane amounts of money donated by kind people that saw our LGBTQIA+ community struggle in darkness. Everyone involved in this so-called foundation was earning thousands of dollars while survivors and victims suffered unable to work or put food on the table. Survivors would desperately knock on their door for help and they would get turned away because, like they told me, this foundation was not created for that purpose. You can call on OUAC, that's the Orlando United Assistance Center, for help. To me, this whole foundation is corrupt and it needs to be stopped immediately. There is no way Barbara Poma was crashing $150,000 by being on the board while survivors and real victims that suffered that horrible night were left in the dark. Having a Black Friday sale to continue collecting more money was disgusting, just the same as having a gift shop on site where I was shot 15 times and was bleeding to death. Well, after calling them out on social media, Barbara Poma left me a personal voicemail apologizing for the insane decisions this so-called foundation often makes with no regard to how it affects the real victims. Using scholarships as a blanket to look like they were helping the community was a disgusting move, in my opinion. Dissolve the foundation. Give the survivors the power of their own story. Stop monetizing our pain. Enough is enough. I'm disgusted and I'm angry. Shut it down. Tony Marrero.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es George Hernández y soy uno de los sobrevivientes de la masacre de Pulse.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Hernandez, and I am one of the surviving victims.
Yo no estoy de acuerdo con esta fundación para que sigan recolectando dinero a través de nuestra tragedia.
I do not agree that Barbara will continue to make some money for herself with using this tragedy and all this blood, making money out of all the victims and the things that happened there. He is not, he doesn't agree at all with that, and that is why he's here. He does not want to see her keep making money from that day, from that dreadful day.
Ya tienen el monumento. Ya tienen el monumento.
They already have the monument.
No tiene que hacer otro en otro lugar.
They don't have to make one in another place.
Yo estuve 3 horas en el baño, desangrándome.
I was in the bathroom for 3 hours bleeding.
Sin darme cuenta que tengo disparo.
Without even knowing that I had already been shot.
Me dieron un disparo en el brazo izquierdo.
I got a shot on my left arm.
Tengo una varilla con 9 tornillos.
He has a steel thing here with 9 screws. Open
Y
your
tengo
shirt.
otro al costado.
Muéstralo. So that they can see it.
This is so Barbara can see just another sample of what surviving look like today.
Por aquí me entró el disparo.
It entered here.
Me afectó 4 órganos y me tuvieron que reconstruir.
It
4.
affected 4 of his organs, and he had to be almost reconstructed.
Eh,
I'm here with you. Yo estoy aquí contigo.
y no es justo que ella siga involucrando todo esto.
And it's not fair that she keeps doing this, making this money with this tragedy.
Le doy gracias a Dios que me dio una segunda oportunidad de vida.
He gives God, he is so thankful that God gave him another opportunity to live.
Y no es justo para las madres que perdieron sus hijos.
And it is not fair for all the mothers that lost their children.
Gracias y buenas tardes.
Thank you and good afternoon. My name is Brenda Campos Marquez. I was just a cousin of someone, another victim that died there. But my question today, because I was not here to talk, is I want to ask the city of Orlando, again, ask the city of Orlando, when was this festival in their agenda? When they went to get the permission so that they can have this conference here. Why the city of Orlando didn't announce to them that this festival was going to be there? Why? Once again, city of Orlando trying to silence us. And that's not going to happen, Barbara, or city of Orlando. Thank you.
So my name is Zach, and this is Ethan, and we're Pulse patrons, and we've been helping organize the families to speak out against this memorial museum since it happened. And while the One Pulse Foundation has been collecting donations, we've been collecting public records. And I encourage you all to go look at the public records yourself. They don't show the city of Orlando and the office of the mayor are not shown in a good light. They knew about all the unpermitted renovations. They had a document that I obtained in 2019 that showed they listed out all the unpermitted renovations that they knew in preparation for litigation against themselves. And they wouldn't release it. They gave it to me completely redacted. And I had to ask for it unredacted. And I said, the statute of limitations is up. You can't keep this from the public. And then Mayan Downs then released it unredacted. And it shows all of the code violations that the city knew about. And there are more. If you look at the FBI photos, if you look at all the other documents that have come out, you can piece together all of the code violations that were at Pulse that affected escape and rescue of the victims. And we demand accountability. There should be a criminal investigation done. Barbara Poma is going to leave the city with $5 million in her pocket from the sale of all of her stuff, and there should be a criminal investigation. That's what happened at the Ghost Ship Warehouse fire in California. That's what happened at the Station nightclub fire in Rhode Island, and it hasn't happened here. And Buddy Dyer is on the one of the boards of the One Pulse Foundation. His attorney, who's also an attorney at Graves Robinson, Earl Crittenden, is the board chairman of One Pulse. There's too much corruption. It's just corruption. It's conflicts of interest and total corruption, and there's evidence in the records of it. So y'all go look at the records. It's clear as day. You can go to nopulsemuseum.info and look at all yourself. I have a PhD. It's not hard to go through the records and find them out. So check it out. And ask for a criminal investigation. Everyone needs to ask for it.
Not only did Barbara and her husband know about the code violations prior to the shooting. She knew about them years prior. There's records that show that she was supposed to correct them. They were never corrected. And the city did not make them correct them. And when the tragedy happened, they swept that under the rug. It's a cover-up. And any other tragedy like this where people die, people need to be responsible. There's safety codes for a reason, and when they're violated and this much tragedy occurs, there's a reason why the people in the city hall are charging us thousands of dollars for public records. This group has spent over $25,000 because they are charging us for their labor to turn over the public records. Zach has been getting the public records, whichever ones have not been deleted or erased, but there's enough there to show that there's a cover-up, and this money that they're earning on the board, instead of helping the victims, none of them are even remotely victims, and they're running the show. It's ridiculous. $500,000 to Barbara Poma since this happened in a salary from Onepulse. The other people on the board have also earned at least $500,000 themselves.
It's disgusting. And if you want to understand, like, the extent of the violations, the dance floor, the city asked Rosario Poma to get rid of the dance floor twice. He said in a letter that he did, and he obviously did not. 25 people were murdered on that dance floor. So check that out. Another issue is the outdoor patio. We have the Orlando Sentinel that did a story on the fence, but the fence was enclosing a patio that was blocking a window illegally. I mean, it's just on and on and on and on. And you can get the list from our website. Just click on document page and you can download everything. But
on the fence, they were asked to remove the fence before this happened, and they did not remove the fence. No one could escape. The fence was completely surrounding the back patio. None of the patrons, I was a patron there for years, I did not know of any exit except back into the club once I was out on that patio.
And the city has said that they don't have a special code for nightclubs, which is true, but they have one for dance halls, which is what a nightclub is. So the city's been lying to reporters over and over again. They also lied about the fence and said they didn't know if it was a violation, but the Orlando Sentinel did their job, and they saw that it was a code violation because it was 6 feet tall, and you can't have a 6 foot tall fence in front of a nightclub. So it's things like that. The city's been, skirting the issues over and over again, and it's time for accountability, and it's time for justice. And it's time to stop this nonsense where people are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars while the victims get nothing. It's sick. Thank you. Okay, we'll answer questions privately with all the victims. There's some victims' family members who are behind us as well who didn't feel comfortable talking, on stage.